Mike is a registered investment advisor with McCormick Financial Advisors in Bozeman, Montana. As an independent fiduciary, Mike does not receive commissions from any of the products or investments mentioned on this program. Consult a professional before making any investment decision. You can find old shows archived at McCormickFinancialadvisors.com. Learn, participate, interact.
And the aforementioned Mike McCormick is in the house. How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent.
All right. Shane Matobin on the line with us from Vancouver.
Good morning, Mike.
Hey, up there. Close the window. It's cold down here, will you?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. We've had a caller waiting on the phone, so let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane and Mike McCormick. What's up?
Good morning. Tom, I just wanted to share with you a technique that I have used to eliminate most of those annoying phone calls giving me investment advice.
Okay.
I ask them if I can take out a life insurance policy on their life with me as the beneficiary. And I point out that Uncle Luigi claims I should not lose any money on an investment.
Okay, that'll work.
And it works.
Well, I bet it does. I strongly think they're probably not going to take you up on that, especially if they have to pay the premiums.
No, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. You know, I'll front the premiums if Uncle Luigi's nearby.
That's right.
I can stomach a 1 month expense for the payout.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a good day.
All right.
Thank you, good sir.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for waiting. All right. Well, Mike's in the house. 800 points down 2 days. Japanese bond market sucks. 7.5% Britain or the EU tariff.
Tom, this is a sale.
Oh, okay.
Sales are good things, right? Every once in a while, you have old inventory. You got to get ready for the new inventory. Maybe you're going to the boots. You got to get rid of the running shoes. You got to have a sale.
All right.
We're having a sale.
800 points down.
There is a sale on equities going on.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what. For one calendar year, 12 months, the S&P has lost over 3%.
Wow.
That's something. This is, people talk about, hey, the longest recovery, longest rally. Everybody made all the money there is to make in stocks. Well, guess what? The past year, really, if you go to past 2 years, it has not knocked the stocks off of anything, and there's been a ton of volatility. So I always like to point out, in an efficient thing, if it's risky, you suffer some anxiety, and you get rewarded over time. And so that's where we are. We're risky. It's there's plenty of reasons to be pessimistic out there. More information about what's going on in Hong Kong versus China. I'm sure you guys have been hitting on that. That one's real interesting. And then we're putting tariffs on Europe now because, we don't need friends, I guess. So we'll put tariffs on cheese and Bordeaux. And
we're up 24 points.
And the opening is positive because people recognize that, you know what? Mm-hmm. I mean, this is to the point. Shane asked me a while ago. He said, Mike, what are your markers, right? And Shane's got breadth of this whole global economy. Mm-hmm. And my discipline's helping individuals protect and grow their money. So I'm maybe even just a subset of it. But my markers that I keep coming back to are unemployment. Everybody's got a job that wants a job, certainly in this community too. And hopefully you have the job you want. If not, now's probably a good time to be looking at that move. And the other one is we've got a Fed that is accommodative. We've even got a U.S. Treasury that still has the opportunity to do some stimulus. So you've got a government system that wants growth. You've got a consumer base that is making money. Wages are going up. We do have real problems out there. I'm not going to say that this is not a big, significant moment in really global economy. We've got a situation now where we've had 2 decades of McDonald's diplomacy, and now we're saying, whoa, wait a minute. We'll give up the double cheeseburger burger, please, but we don't need you stealing our secrets and undercutting our country, I guess, would be the way to look at it. So I think that now we've got an opportunity for people that are traders to get in the market. We've got an opportunity for people that maybe had surplus cash and they've paid down debt. They boosted their emergency savings. They don't want any more real estate. Plugging your nose and buying a risky asset here, I think will probably reward you we do have more runs to go, and yeah, everything's not as rosy as it once was. Stock market's very forward looking. All the stock market needs to go up is a promise of something in the future, and there's plenty of ways that the market can deliver on that, the president can deliver on that, the news flow can deliver on that, and yeah, be fearful when others are greedy. I think a great guy named Warren Buffett said that one time too.
Mm-hmm.
Be greedy when others are fearful. Be
Right.
fearful when others are greedy.
All right. Good advice, I think, I would say.
Yeah.
Just got to remember,
Yeah.
buying low and selling high is the goal.
That's true. Yeah. Well, my wife, of course, is freaking out with her Facebook's stock down from 190 or close to 200 down to 174.
It was $19 at one point.
It was. It was
And-
actually it was
and-
$13. I think at one point
Yep.
was the lowest.
So it came out as an
Yeah.
IPO in the I think mid low 30s if I recall, and then
Something
tanked.
like that. Yeah.
And so there's parallels being drawn to the Uber, the Pelotons. There's been a lot of IPOs this year that have really failed.
Yeah. Well, the Facebook, you had to wait 90 days before you could sell it, I think, because a lot of people in Facebook were paid with stock,
Yeah.
and once the 90 days was up, they cashed
Once
out.
their gag orders
Yeah.
out,
Yeah, they cashed out. That took it down quite a bit.
that's one of the things.
Yeah,
you know.
because several people became millionaires and went, put their money elsewhere.
The big
and
difference with
bought
Facebook
things,
is that it was profitable when it made its IPO.
It was profitable, yeah. That was
These
the
companies
thing.
like WeWork, not
Yeah.
profitable,
No.
and they're crying why
Well,
they're
even
being.
Amazon didn't make money for the first probably 15 years.
They didn't, but you know what? It's because I was just listening to a great presentation about it on a different news station that
There's another news station?
it's
I had no idea.
You gotta it's you don't want to bother about it. And they mentioned that Amazon had one IPO that was their only fundraising round, and boom, they're done. Whereas something like WeWork or Uber, hey, we're having another party, come and throw money in the pot, we're
That's
doing
right.
great.
Yeah.
And then Peloton, they make bicycles with TVs connected to them. They won an IPO.
Yeah.
It didn't work out so well for them so far too.
They decided they're going to wait
They
until they get some money.
Well, they came out in a tank,
Yeah.
but there's risk out there when you look for it. Bonds have outperformed for 12 months again over stocks. Bonds, it's defying logic how expensive bonds are right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, even
bonds.
at the low rates they are.
Well, that's why it's
Yeah,
one of those
they're
seesaw things that
Yeah.
gets your mind to explode. But
well,
if you're holding bond funds,
they're at least a guaranteed return by the government. So
if it's a treasury, it's guaranteed. If
Yeah.
it's FDIC insured, it's guaranteed. If it's by General Electric,
yeah, maybe not.
not guaranteed.
Or GM, as we found out during the
Not guaranteed. Now, all the
Yeah.
GM bondholders did get made whole eventually. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of fear about, what happens with bankruptcies and all that.
yeah.
And now we're putting concerns out there that maybe capital flows to China might be restricted. Maybe we're going to limit the investments that go to China.
and go here or come here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that'll be,
either or.
we'll
yeah.
take their money, I think, all day long. But our money going to them.
I don't know. They're talking about restricting them being on the exchanges.
Right. So what it is that their public companies typically list here under something called an
Right.
ADR.
Yeah.
And so that would be, we would limit that, which would limit the ability for U.S. investors to put money into China.
Right.
And one of the theories that I've heard is that, okay, as we're trying to have our tariff strategy work, we're limiting their opportunity to import things that they need. And so capitalists might look at that and say, okay, well, China now needs to develop their own semiconductors. Well, let's start a fund that helps China develop its own semiconductors. That's what the goal of this restricting capital is that we want to block that move also.
Right.
And so that we really can try and starve them out a bit.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works. My view on that one is, the voters in China, them, they're not.
The ones that don't.
They're not allowed to vote.
Vote 100% for Xi.
Right.
Yeah. 100% to
For
zero.
lifelong,
Yeah. Those voters.
Right. It's not a fair fight.
Yeah.
Right. You can't have a
No,
democracy
it
fighting
isn't.
a communist empire and expect to be able to wait them out. That's my view on it.
Yeah. Well, I think they're willing to wait for, till Xi's the last guy standing.
Certainly through
Because,
November, they're willing to wait.
They are willing to wait for that.
And maybe that'll be Trump's rallying call is that you can't put a softie in office when this thing is working.
Yeah, that's true. From our text line, 478-8298, buy low, sell high, and don't be greedy, and tell the truth. Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah, there you are. All right, we got to take a quick break here because, the Bryan Law Firm wants to talk to you, and, of course, Babel. We can't get through a morning without Babel.
I thought we were handling the babble ourselves.
We were doing the Babel ourselves, yeah. We'll be right back with Mike McCormick, McCormick Financial Advisors, right after these important words. Stay tuned. All right, 19 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m., Mike McCormick Financial Advisors is in the house. Shaman Taubman, half man, half amazing on the line, and Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, which you'll want to vote for at BozemanMagazine.com, Bozeman's Choice. Get over there and vote for us as the best morning show and the personalities and the station for news. And
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Because the truth will prevail.
The truth will set you free. Like it or not. Well, looking at crude oil down, gold is down. Boy, what else is down? Everything is down.
Boy, oil has been down. That is a tricky one. And California Pension just said we're not investing in fossil fuels anymore. Let's think about the coal demise, right?
Yeah.
Coal as an investment theory is null and void at this point. It's dead. Mm-hmm. Yet the lights that are above us are running off of coal.
Pretty much, yeah.
50%.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
At a minimum. So somewhere, somehow, somebody's still making money doing that, I hope. Mm-hmm. That's the way economies work. Now, could oil get to the same thing, whereas an investment theory, it's not viable? Yet we're still putting in our cars to get to work. I don't know. I don't understand that.
Well, I think everybody thinks about it as being the exhaust coming out of your car. But what about plastic? What about paint? Everything in this room that you can touch has oil in it somewhere. Either made it or it.
Kind of want to take a shower now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're covered in oil smell right now.
Certainly. So, nobody's denying that value or that industry is going anywhere. But as an investor, when you're looking at demand for something going away, if other pensions do the same thing, if this is a common investment thesis to avoid a whole sector, my fiduciary duty is to help my clients navigate that. And we can even translate this over into more of the climate change movement. And I don't want to get partisan on this, but I think just recognizing that there is a big movement out there saying, if our Earth's climate is increasing, whether because of us or the dinosaurs or whatever, right? If it's increasing, we should invest in companies that are anticipating that and might be able to make changes regarding that. And so there was an ad in the paper for a talk that's going on at MSU. And maybe I'll get to the info and you can put it on there about a talk that's going on at MSU. And it's one of those things where their endowment is looking at going into clean investing. And they're looking at it as an opportunity to make money, not as an opportunity to say, we want to affect social change and make less money. They're looking at it a win-win. We want to affect social change according to how our kids and students and teachers and everybody want us to do it. But we think that there's an opportunity to be proactive and come out as a winner on it. So I'm going to attend that. Again, it's at the Norm Asbjornson Hall. I want to say it's in a week and a half. I'll get you the information about that.
Okay. Yeah, do that. I'm looking here at one of the studies of the International Energy Agency. A wind turbine requires 900 tons of steel, which have to be made with coal because you don't have anything hot enough to melt steel. 2,500 tons of concrete, 45 tons of non-recyclable plastic, and and it needs repair and maintenance and replacement.
We can go. We can go on.
What can I tell you?
We can go on. We can go on. But looking at coal again, we had the same arguments with coal. We use coal, so why isn't there value in investing in it? Something dislocated. My concern is that could something like that happen in the energy business too, where there's significantly more investment dollars there right now. They're paying great dividends, these companies. Chevron's paying, I think, over a 4% dividend right now. From a value standpoint, they look very, very attractive. But I'm just wondering if there's not a trap waiting for us at the end of the day when, maybe, I don't know. I don't know where to go on that one.
How much do you think, and this is from one of our texters, 478-8298, if you want to weigh in, it seems that the media reports decline in the market due to impeachment or recession worries rather than normal activity. What do you
Great
question.
Yeah. Great question. Personally, I don't think it. I think it's noise. I do. I think that there is always a certain amount of fluctuation in the market that you can attribute to noise, and that's why things like yesterday might have been a buying opportunity. May have been, right? I have to put the asterisks on this. At this point in the game, I don't think anybody except for the vice president would like to see the president impeached, because we're going to come up to election soon, right? So it's noise and if
you want him out, vote him out.
Right. That's the system's there, right?
That's
4 years goes by.
That's what it's there for.
4 years goes by really quickly.
That's why they only have them 4 years.
Right.
From our text line, 478-8298, Japan is going to clean coal. So, I guess so.
Yeah.
I thought we were too, but.
So, yeah, right. I mean, cold fusion also is not really, it's still a good theory, but I don't know how they do. I've heard a lot of talking about clean this and clean that, and you can certainly reduce the impact of it.
Well, didn't Governor Schweitzer talk about getting oil from coal?
Right. No, I mean, there's fascinating things you can do, but I think it's kind of like use an analogy to propel your blender in the morning. We're not just there yet.
Yeah, not there yet.
Good technology ideas. But maybe we are. I think clean coal idea is more about just being sensitive on how it's being burnt up. I think it's less to do with we figured out how to get energy out of it without any emissions.
Well, once again, it doesn't seem like people are gravitating to metals like they have in the past.
We don't
things
see any
get a little negative,
Great question, Tom. So for the past decade, my whole industry has been saying you don't just need stocks and bonds, you need other stuff. We call them alternatives. And the alternatives are coal, gold and coal,
silver, and commodities, and
primarily commodities. Real estate is also another one.
Oh yeah,
and every time we get to a scary point like we are now, we come back to that because bonds right now are as scary as stocks to me. The valuations that they have indicate for them to go up, things would have to get really bad, and stocks are expensive. Real estate, So these alternatives.
There's the yields right there. 159 for the 10 and 208 for the 30.
And that's juicy compared to what's going on over in Europe, where they're
negative. In Europe,
they're being charged to hide their money. So you're not being charged to hide your money here. You're just not being paid very much for it. Yeah. Again, over 2% is available to use safely. Bankrate.com is one place where you can shop the short end of the curve, you might say. So money markets, CDs.
Money markets, CDs, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And I always like you to call your local bank, give them a shot at it, because then, like we said, you get to do business with people that you see.
Yeah, if you're a good investor, they may have something for, or if you're a loyal customer, they may have something for you that isn't generally sold or something.
If you're if you're a big customer.
Yeah, if you're a big customer, we'll take care of you.
Right. So we're at the beginning of the fourth quarter right now.
Yeah.
We're at the beginning of the end, right? And we just completed the third quarter, which is the summer, basically.
Yeah, we'll get job reports tomorrow and some other stuff.
And people should recognize that this is typically a slow economic time. People took the summer off. There's not a lot of investing going on.
October was the crash of 29, the crash of 87.
The crash of yesterday, right?
Yeah, the crash of yesterday.
Halloween, spooky. So October might be in there, but Santa Claus is right around the corner, and people are flush. So I think that Santa's going to get delivered, just as sure as the snow's going to fly. I think there's more rockiness to come, but the impeachment stuff, not as concerned about it. The Hong Kong stuff. I think China, again, plays the long ball on this one, and that they'll sort of seemingly back down to try and keep it quiet. But, the Hong Kong citizens have been used to being under the thumb. They're a long way from a free society. I think that there's a lot of struggle left to happen there. Really fascinating stuff. I am certainly very concerned that the global economy is going to divide into U.S. and maybe not U.S. And I think that right there could be the biggest concern that we're looking at. But over time, there's opportunity out there for sure.
Yeah. This morning, I think they were reporting that people are paying $4,000 more in taxes than they were, $10,000 versus $14,000.
Well, the good news about paying taxes is it means you made money.
That means you made more money if you're
Right.
paying more taxes.
Right.
Normally, if you have a good accountant.
And if you don't, they're all over town. So give me a call if you want to meet one.
Give me your number.
Oh, my number is 522-3201. You can find me on the interweb. And don't forget to vote for your favorite morning talk show host.
BozemanMagazine.com.
And your favorite morning coffee shop.
That's right.
The Soapbox.
All those. Right.
Best looking. All those things.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Normally we'd have you here for an hour, but we've got another guest coming in. So we'll see you next Thursday for a full hour. I will keep that open.
I will, yeah. And you guys, everybody keep investing. Don't change your thesis. Sit on your hands sometimes. It's the best decision you can make.
All right. Mike McCormick, McCormick Financial Advisors, and Shane and I will be back right after these important words, so stay tuned. 24 minutes before the top of the hour, we are going to hold Mike over. Our guests that were supposed to be here at 7:30 haven't shown yet, so they may be over talking to XL Country. I don't know. But anyway, we'll keep you around until they...
Happy to be on the layover.
Yeah.
Layover on the soapbox.
Yeah.
We could go deep on that.
Oh, from our text line, sorry, Tom, can't vote for you. Don't want another place to spam me. Well, I was a columnist for Bozeman Magazine for about 10 years, and they're not going to spam you. I can promise you that. In fact, I'm going to have them in here in the next week or so.
Is that right? To vote,
Bozeman
do I need to set up a username and log in to vote?
You gotta set up something to vote, but you can cancel after you do it.
Yeah, right. So, and with these sign up things, I'm always trying to stay on the cutting edge of
right.
cyber privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have sensitive information that we only use secure servers and encryptions for, but we also just need to be good stewards and advisors to our clients on how do you keep your identity safe. Mm-hmm. On a lot of these things, one-time use, and I'm not saying that you should do this with Bozeman Magazine because they're, of course, trusted local people.
Yeah.
But you can put a fake stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can, sure.
And get through the gatekeeper door. Yeah. And then also a great tip out there is that when you're setting up an account, let's say I just set up an account with Hilton the other day. I don't do a lot of travel, but we're finding that we're doing a bit more.
I have one, too, with the hotel.
And they're always like, if it's $20 off for 2 nights, $40 to get an account, and you might go back there, why not? Okay. Yeah. And you get to cancel for free and et cetera. Mm-hmm. Well, come up with usernames that are not your name.
Right.
That's another whole layer of security out there. If your username is your name or your email, if you have another option, you can have the username be something that might be like a password. Mm-hmm. Of course, you have to have it easy to remember. The trick for easy to remember is write it out, easy to remember. E becomes a 3. The R becomes a capital R. You have easy to remember. There's a password for you.
Yeah. I always make my password the word incorrect, and that way if I put the wrong password in, it'll say your password is incorrect.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Dang.
Pretty cool. So wonderful way to do it. So.
Oh boy! Now we've got.
So vote for us because they're not going to spam you. They aren't. I promise you. They're not going to spam you with stuff.
Just good information about what's going on in the community.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. Yeah. Well, they have a newsletter, but you don't have to sign up for that. To vote. So
someday I measure my productivity by how many things I unsubscribe from.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you start getting things, just unsubscribe from it, and say, hey, I'm done. So
moving on.
Yeah.
Cleaning house.
But they're nice folks over there. They're not going to spam you. They're not going to give you a bunch of stuff. So,
and
in fact, I think they even say that when you sign up, they tell you that, we're not going to do anything to you.
And think about the downside that you would see people winning a contest that weren't the actual winners because, you didn't race.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to race.
Well, sure.
Racing season.
Well, of course.
Right.
So there we go. All right. We're going to take a break and come back with Mike, or we'll see if the folks.
If I'm here, I'm going to talk about. If I'm going to talk about how to finance your winter activities: ski pass, ski gear, ski vacation, hockey. We're going to get real on that.
We got to do that. All right. We'll be right back with more with Mike, or